for me, being a suicide survivor, that's no way to live life. Yeah. Every day matters. I'm living the life, Brian, that I tried to end.
Yeah.
So I don't want to wake up and just be like, oh, going through the motion. How you doing? Keep it on. Keep it on.
Yeah.
I think if people pause before every interaction in a social setting or a meeting, and they just said, let me spend time centering on what I'm most grateful for now in this moment. I feel it changed their energetic vibration, how they show up in life.
Right away.
Easy. Because one of the most dangerous things that limits people is who they think that they are or think that they are not. So here's my greatness formula. Here's how you be great at everything, in my opinion. Okay? 3 areas: mindset, skill set. Oh, I'm an athlete and people love me because I'm a jock, but I don't know if they love me because of what they think they can get from me because I'm potentially going to go in the first round, or if they love me for who I actually am. How do I know?
Yeah.
Suppression. And so I'm not talking to anybody about that. So then when I had my back surgery at my end of my true freshman year, it was like career was supposed to be over. I couldn't let it go. I signed a liability waiver and I played, and now I've got this whole double life I'm living where I'm selling drugs and to cover the cost of my medical care, and I'm getting epidural shots, nerve killings, surgeries, illegal procedures. I'm taking strong opioid pills.
Yeah.
And what started as me taking them to numb my physical pain so I can play football, which I managed to start for 2 years.
It's crazy.
Morphed into me using it for my emotional pain from knowing that my career was coming to an end. I didn't even have the vocabulary to be like, I'm depressed, I'm struggling mentally. I didn't even know. Didn't even know.
Yeah.
Just was drinking, smoking, suppressing, just not even feeling. Didn't even want to feel the emotions. Long story short, Brian, I got to the point where I was taking so many opioid pills, they were thinning my blood, and every time I was making contact on the field, my nose would bleed. So the coaches kept seeing that I was having these frequent nosebleeds, and they were like, no way.
Yeah.
We got a lawsuit. We can't let this happen. So going into my senior, they kicked me off the team. I went through a dark depression. I went from 275 pounds to 219 pounds in 4 weeks.
Wow.
And I imploded. I started to say, man, Darryll, people don't love you for you. They just love you for your gift. Man, without sports, you're going to go back to being that person who's a black kid that talks and acts white, who doesn't fit in, who doesn't belong. And I didn't want to deal with that pain. And oh, by the way, this sport that you love, you can't get it back.
Yeah.
And people, only athletes can understand that pain of having a dream and not actually being able to chase it. You see, most people, if you're not an athlete, you got a dream, you can chase it, no matter how many times you fail.
That's right.
But there's some point in an athlete's career you can't chase it.
No.
Physically, you can't do it anymore.
That's right.
And it was tormenting. And so I ended up in a psychiatric care facility after multiple times attempting to end my life, and my life changed there forever. I had 2 people come witness to me about Christ. And they said the same exact phrase. They didn't talk to each other, didn't meet each other, didn't know each other. And they asked me, would I say yes to God? And that was the shift. I was agnostic up until that point, and that gave me faith and hope and purpose. Second thing that happened is I found out about this internal world, self-care. You see, I had a system of success as an athlete. I didn't have a system of self-care.
No.
I knew how to outwork you.
Yeah.
I knew how to be a good team member. I had the mindset to achieve.
Yeah.
I didn't have the connection with myself to be. And so I always ask people, most people have a system of success, but they don't have a system, hear the word system, of self-care. A systematic approach to doing self-care so that it produces similar results.
That's right.
Okay. And so, that's what that book is about. I helped develop that care system to help high performers to develop self-care. I had to put it through the lens of high performance because they're like, how's that going to move the dial?
Yeah,
I'll tell you how. Because people who participate in self-care are more statistically proven to outperform those that don't. The more connection you have with self. By the way, your emotional clarity expands your emotional capacity.
Say that again.
Your emotional clarity expands your emotional capacity. Okay, so you ever been overwhelmed by a bunch of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to think straight, ain't it?
That's right.
Okay, that's low emotional capacity because of low emotional clarity. Okay, now you get clear, you're like, okay, full, I can handle work and life again. Okay, emotional clarity expands emotional capacity. Okay, same thing. That's true for anything in life, anything in leadership, anything in real, right? And so for people they don't spend the time to get emotionally clear enough to have higher levels of capacity. They take a licking and keep ticking. They white knuckle their way through success. And there's only a matter of time before you implode or explode or burn out. It's not just like, how do I show up in good vibes? Right? Like it's really a culmination of the integrity you live your life with and the consistency by which you lead your life. So for me, I'm tall, I'm 6'5.5". I'm a former football player. So I look like I used to play back in the day. And so there's that natural physical physique, which even physical physique requires a consistency of practice to have, right? So think about that. What we do consistently with our physicality creates an immediate attraction or not from somebody. It's the same thing with our energetic work. So for me, I know we'll get into this foundational flow that we're like excited to dive into, but that's a big part of how I cultivate my energy. It's how I live in my life consistently and intentionally. And most people aren't being intentional. Okay, you ever have that momentum where you're being intentional and you're like, I'm stacking those wins, and then it's like building and building? That's an energetic momentum you're in, and it feels good to come off of, like, most people can relate to like checking things off a to-do list. Most people walk around life, they don't want to go to work on Monday, Wednesday's hump day, Friday they're waiting for the weekend. And I'm like, for me, being a suicide survivor, that's no way to live life. Every day matters. I'm living the life, Brian, that I tried to end. So I don't want to wake up and just be like, oh, going through the motion. How you doing? Keep it on. Intentionality. Okay. So I'll say that. And then I want to add this part. Blocking anything that's interfering with my full expression. Okay. So if I have a podcast I want to start, if I have a conflict with my team member, my wife, I don't suppress those conflicts, suppress those dreams, suppress those ideas. I do my best to express them and go after them. And that creates an energetic frequency. Imagine how you feel when you don't do the things that are in your heart. Oh, I'm not doing it. Oh, I said I was going to do it. But imagine how you feel when you do. Oh, I do it. I'm launching it. I'm doing the thing. It gives you that energetic frequency. I'm in that. Okay. And then the last thing I'll say is gratitude. I think if people pause before every interaction in a social setting or a meeting and they just said, let me spend time centering on what I'm most grateful for now in this moment, I feel it changed their energetic vibration, how they show up in life.
Right away.
Easily. Easily.
But how many people actually do that?
Very few. Too busy. I'll check my social media more than I'll check my heart.
But your story and what you went through, how you got to that point, and then now how you're living different. What would you share looking back?
I say whatever we don't express, we suppress. Okay? So if we have an emotional spike in our day, in our life, okay, conflict, even if something small, somebody cut you off in traffic, you don't express it, okay, with even just a deep breath or a verbal, this happened, okay, we suppress it in our cellular memory. And when you suppress things, it's only a matter of time before you implode or explode. Okay, so for me, I suppressed for about well over a decade. Growing up, small town, growing up in poverty, the hood. My father wasn't as active in my life the first 5 years. He took longer to come around because he was a high-level Division I athlete as well. I actually played at my same school, Central Michigan. Yeah. Everyone from Michigan knows, but ended up getting hurt. Same story that I had, and so my mother was really tough on me, and it was different times then too. Like a couple generations ago, everyone like raised by force. There was no like, how you feeling? You know, like
there were belts. There was consequences.
It was different, you know. I mean, and you go back another generation, it's like you got beaten class, you know. So I didn't get as worse as my mom, but I dang sure got it way worse than my children, right? And so like, you know, she was very hard on me, and anytime I would cry, she'd be like, "Boy, you better stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry." And it created this like, and on top of that, it just wasn't popular to be an emotional male growing up. Like you were gonna get jumped or robbed.
You don't have any friends talking that way.
You know, and as athletes, we're taught like you don't show weakness. Don't even let them see you sweat.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And so now I take that mentality and I apply it to. It's good for my physical dominance. It's terrible for my emotional health. So now I'm taking that psychology of like, be tough, don't cry, you know, don't let them see you sweat. And I'm living like that for years. Okay. So I got teased for being a black kid that talked to white when I was younger. I changed everything about myself to fit in with other people rather than talking and expressing, hey, I feel like I don't fit in. I feel like something's wrong with the way that I talk. I suppressed it. Implosion. Rather than being like, hey, I'm actually scared. I don't like walking through my neighborhood. I don't know if I'm going to get jumped or bullied. And I got to walk around like this all the time. Yeah. Suppression. Because one of the most dangerous things that limits people is who they think that they are or think that they are not. Okay. So one in high achiever world is like, I'm not an emotional person. Okay. That's an identity that you have that's now limiting your capacity as a leader because you think you're not emotional. Yeah. And so you're not able to access something that is in your toolkit, which is the power of your emotions and your internal guiding system.
That's right.
You know? Oh. And so everybody who says they're not an emotional person, number one, I debunk that two ways. Number one, I say when you were born, if I was there on the day, I guarantee you the first thing that you did was cry.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah. Okay. So you have emotions. So you learn not to be emotional. Okay. The other thing I try to attack them with is like, hey, do you ever have a gut instinct that you follow? Can you understand that's an emotion that you feel through the physical instrument of your body? And so they're like, they start to get it. Like, okay, I am an emotional person. You're right. I just was learning because the dad was tough or whatever that I actually do have emotions. Cool. Well, you know, one of the most valuable leadership currencies today is emotional intelligence. It's a big body of work. How can you have great emotional intelligence if you don't have emotions, right? Yeah. So I think who we tell ourselves we're not is such a bad problem. So I told myself I wasn't an emotional person. I told myself I wasn't a leader. I told myself I wasn't a spiritual person. So I was overcoming all of those limiting beliefs in the way that I saw myself. That was the early, I don't know, 6 to plus months or so of just like, you know what? I'm leaning into my emotions. You know what? I'm leaning into my ability to lead. I was a terrible speaker. I couldn't put two sentences together. I used to be so afraid to speak in front of people, Brian, that when they did icebreakers, I used to fake like I had to go to the bathroom so they would skip over me. One of my first speeches, I wrote it out word for word, read it into a recorder, strung headphones up my jacket, left one headphone in to give the audience the appearance that I forgot to take my headphones out, hit play, and started to recite what was on my recorder.
Wow. Okay. That's very adaptable, I'm going to say, though, because like most people would never even come up with that. Oh.
Insecurity will make you do stupid things.
Crazy things. People are listening to this going, oh, yeah, I went to the bathroom, too. I left that room.
Yeah, I know.
They know.
I know. They get it.
And then now where you are.
Right.
Because I think back to these older versions of ourselves, and like as you're sharing that, too, like we were joking, it's like it's almost hard to, you can go back and see yourself in those years and seasons, but with now where you are, TEDx speaker. I saw you speak and you crushed it. You came on stage. I'm like, yeah. And people were engaged and in it. And so I think they missed the in between though.
Oh, totally.
So from being this person that's walking out of the room, scared to death, putting the headphones in, how did you then say, okay, I've had this vision since I was like 9.
Yeah.
How did you then start to become that person outside the library? Like speaking is, I think, still the number 1, number 2 most feared thing outside of death.
Totally.
And people are deathly afraid of speaking.
Yeah.
And yet you've continued to master and conquer it.
Yeah. So here's my greatness formula. Here's how you be great at everything, in my opinion. Okay? 3 areas. Mindset, skill set, network. That's it. Mindset, skill set, network. Okay? So mindset. You want to be the best? Study the best.
Yeah, that's right.
And so first thing I did, okay, I'm not the best. I got to study the best. Yeah. Who's the best? Okay, who resonates with me the most? Yeah. So I'm starting listening to Eric Thomas and John Maxwell and Lisa Nichols and Bishop T.D. Jakes and like all these people. I can just rattle them off. And a lot of it was consuming, studying, and then I'm also investing in mentorship and coaching to get access and proximity to accelerate the path, right? That's right. And so like just dipping my toe in there. Like I think I was like one of the first people to know about the certified John Maxwell coach thing, like all that. So those are all people I've been mentored by. So, you know, Lisa Nichols, Pete Vargas, Pat Quinn, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Jeremy Anderson, some names you might not know, Jane Atkinson, John Maxwell, of course, T.D. Jakes, I would give Travis Hall, shout out, Bucky O'Neill. Like I've been trained by some really boss people. Yeah. Mindset. Okay, so I was constantly developing my mindset and how do they think in order to produce those results. So I'm observing there's got to be a way that they're thinking about speaking.
That's right.
Or they're thinking about business. Then I'm not thinking about these things. Okay. Oh my God. You have to be eloquent. No, you don't. You got to be authentic. That's a mindset. So mindset isn't just like, I can be the best.
Yeah.
Mindset is also just the filter by which you lead your life, like by which you view the world. And so changing the filter to one that is of light and abundance is mindset. Mindset doesn't just determine how high you go. Mindset informs how deep you go as well.
That's right.
And so like I was learning from their mindset and how they viewed communication and how they thought about the calling to speak, and then skill set. There's a lot of people in this world, Brian, who are trying to out-mindset their skill set.
Okay, explain that, because I think I know.
Okay. I'm going to get rich by telling myself, you are one with money. You are abundant. You're more than enough. Like you can throw scriptures on it. You can throw whatever. But if you don't have a budget and you don't know how to sell or market, you will not be wealthy.
Ain't gonna happen.
But you're trying to out mindset skill set, and it happens to people all the time.
Yeah.
I just need to think I can, I can, and not do. And so you can't out mindset skill set. And like I'll give you a very practical example that's not that old for me either, because I think speakers are really good at talking about old stuff.
Yeah.
We don't like talking about fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one's kind of fresh. It was like a year and a half, 2 years old. But I noticed that I was sabotaging. Okay, I had this big S on my chest, 2.1 million views on my TEDx talk in a year and a half, all organic, no big PR, no fancy press, no nothing. Real value, baby. And then I asked myself, well, what would have happened if I would have did PR? If I would have did a book promotional push? And I realized that, man, my ego and wanting to do it organically was affecting my impact. And it hit me. And I was like, well, what would happen if I played a bigger game? Okay. Now, did you notice what I said? I had 2.1 million views on a TEDx talk. And number one, TEDx talk, already a big accomplishment. 2.1 million views in a year and a half is unheard of. Yeah. And I still had more in the tank. Why? Because for high achievers and people who are extremely gifted, your average looks like somebody else's exceptional. And we'll settle for somebody applause versus stretch to our full potential. And so I was in that mode. People were celebrating. I was coaching clients. I was doing great. I was even growing myself, but I wasn't really playing this bigger game I was meant to play. A lot of people that were giving me advice, even coaches who I was paying well, was trying to tell me all this mindset stuff to play a bigger game. Okay, they were cognitively coaching me to play the bigger game. Yeah. It wasn't working. Okay, the root of it was that I had an insecurity. Yeah. I felt like I had been listening to people for so long that were Jesus my savior, but was my savior in a lot of ways. Yeah. And now I was their peers, and my brain just wouldn't be okay with that. It was like, there's no way I'm as good, or I can share the stage with Eric Thomas or Les Brown, even though I was doing that. Right. I still was like, it wasn't my predominant psychology. Okay, so they tried to mindset me. But here's how I overcame. I had to attack it with skill set. So I went, okay, because here's the thing. In sports, everyone has the mindset. Everyone thinks that they can be the best. Oh, yeah. But if you run a 4.3 and I run a 4.5, you're faster. No matter how good my mindset is. That's right. And so I had the same thing. I'm like, Darryll, okay, what is the skill set between you and whoever that you think you need to develop in order to actually feel good about your mindset? So not bypass your mindset, but elevate your skill set so that your mindset is just a reflection of your skill set. You know you're good at it because you're good at it. Yeah. Not because you're telling yourself you're good, but because you're good. Studying is not the same thing as doing. Thank you. It's not. Nope. So you reading your top leadership books and John Maxwell and all Seth Godin and Rory and Brian, like on all these books, and then going, here's my best 3 tips that I learned from these books, is not as potent as, hey, here's what I've been practicing in my life for the last decade. Let me show you some nuances about how to implement.
That's right.
Okay, so congruence, the degree by which what I practice in my life is congruent with what I say with my lips. I like to say people will remember what you said, but you can only duplicate who you are. So if you're going to duplicate that itness that Brian has, it has to come from the nectar of your own personal practice.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's a big principle. And if somebody's looking for a place to start, I think that's the best place to start. And it helps beginners because now they don't have to deal with insecurity.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be insecure about your life's work and what you know to be true. You're
That's
a master at you.
Yeah.
So focus
done those things.
focus on what has helped you, and then it lessens that insecurity a bit.
I found that in my own journey.
Yeah. And so many people operate their weeks and they never take time to reflect, adjust, and make real-time corrections.
That's right.
Oh, they think they have to have a problem in their business to make a correction. Oh, you don't have to have a problem to make a correction. You just need an opportunity to make an optimization.